Welcome to another edition of the Identity Zone. I'm Bishop P. Gregory Schell, coming to you from Denver, Colorado. It's good to be with you on the World Wide Web today, and we're excited to share your divine identity, your divine nature alignment with you so that you can fulfill the purpose of your Creator in your life. It's time for that daily dose of the divine, so get ready to drink down some of the water of the Spirit and find out who you really are in Christ. We've been talking this week about your gifting. And it's an amazing thing when you discover your true gifting. Sometimes we think we're gifted in one area, but it's really a stepping stone to our ultimate purpose. You're not just gifted by God, you are a gift from God. Your life is a gift. Your presence is a gift. Everything about you is a gift from God to this earthly realm. What a fantastic thought is that so much of the time we're looking to discover our gifting, we're looking to discover our talents and our abilities, and think that once we get these giftings identified and we use them, that we are going to be fulfilled. But really, identifying your gifting is not enough. You must understand that you are the gift, and the gifts are there for you to be a gift to others. We've all been given different gifts related to our earthly assignments. Do you know that before you were in your mother's womb, before you were formed and you got a body, you were given an eternal assignment in God? The Bible's real clear on that. We are created in Christ beforehand. That something happened in the spiritual, intellectual, divine realm before we ever got our body. We know that we're not just humans having a spiritual experience, but we are eternal spirits having a human experience. That means that we were given an assignment for this earth before we ever got here. King David, the shepherd boy, knew that. It's an amazing thing. You know, he was talented to be a shepherd. He was a talented musician. He was a talented psalmist. He could write songs. He could shepherd. And he actually was a talented wrestler because he wrestled with bears and lions to defend the sheep. But that was really not his gift. Ultimately, the gift of him to the earth. All of those giftings prepared him to become the king of Israel. Now, along the way, his gifting began to identify his influence. In private, his gifting trained him for his ultimate public revealing of who he was. When he defeated Goliath publicly, that was just not a one-day event. That was something that he had practiced for many, many years before that event happened. And then ultimately we see King David. He is the gift to Israel, not just a gifted man in Israel. Well, you have giftings and callings, but ultimately you are the gift and you are the called. And once you can discover those things, it'll change your whole perception of life. The purpose of your gifts is to help others fulfill, listen to this, their visions and instructions from God. Actually, other people are waiting for your gift and the giftings and callings in you to come and help them discover their purpose for being on this earth. You know, it's a funny thing. We live in a very self-centered society, a very self-driven society, an independent society. We do not understand the interdependence of our existence, where you live geographically, what your gender is, what your background is, who your parents are, who your siblings are, who the early influences of your life were, all have a lot to do with God's gift through you to this earth. You know, oftentimes we look on our past and we are resentful or we regret or we feel bad about experiences that we had. But once you get the divine perception, you begin to realize everything that I've gone through to this point, to the point even today of hearing my voice, has all been a divine process to reveal and unveil my eternal purpose. You need to know about your divine gifting because the gifting of God is not just natural talent. I mean, athletes are used to execute natural abilities in an athletic event, for an example. Or, you know, if you're on American Idol, it's real obvious when you watch American Idol who really has the gifting and who really doesn't, and people who think they do that really don't. But really, our gift goes way beyond our talents. Our gift has a lot to do with how it helps connect to others and help others discover their vision. Now, once you help someone else discover their vision, you're going to get your provision. What an awesome thought. A lot of people are in lack today because they are self-centered. I've said this for years, and I still believe it, that poverty is the full expression of selfishness. A person who lives in poverty is in poverty because they are selfish. They don't want the responsibility of being involved with others. They don't want the accountability because they think it's all about them. And they don't want the burden of having to produce something to be fruitful. Do you know the very command of God in the book of Genesis was to have dominion and be fruitful? And how are we going to be fruitful? We're going to be fruitful by realizing we are a gift from God to others to help them discover the vision of God in them so that the provision in them can help us fulfill the purpose of God in our lives. Now, I've said a mouthful there. It sounds like a bunch of spaghetti coming out, but let me break that down for you. If you are suffering with lack right now, a lack of money, a lack of time, a lack of friendships, a lack of influence, that lack is a notification to you that you are not walking in the gift of God or as the gift of God. Really and truly, provision is the fruit of relationships. People today who are very, very blessed with provision, and provision is much more than money, but let's talk about money for a minute, are people who solve problems for other people. Do you know that your gift is a solution to someone else's problem? And the only way that you're going to be a solution to someone else's problem is to be available and to engage in their process of life. Well, who is that supposed to be? Who am I supposed to be connected with? Your geography tells you that. Your divine gifting is connected to your geography. Your geography is a map to your provision. What a powerful thing to think about. Oftentimes we think, well, if I relocate and get a new job that pays more money, I'll have all the provision I need. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen sometimes, but I'm here to declare to you that your provision is right under your nose. You know where it's at? It's in your tongue. It's in declaring, creating those things that are not as though they are. It's in speaking those things that are true about you. Once you begin to confess that you're a gift of God for others, and that's what we're going to end up today, is that confession right there. I am a gift from God to others to help them to discover God's vision for their life. And in the process of helping them to discover their vision for their life, I'm going to be fulfilled. I'm going to have plenty of resources around me. I'm going to have plenty of influence in my life. I'm going to have plenty of people to assist me in my vision. We know that the law of sowing and reaping is very powerful. Until I'm willing to invest in other people's lives, other people are not going to invest in my life. That's a fact. No man is an island to himself. At the end of the day, as I use the gift of God in me and the talents and callings of God in me to assist others in discovering their vision, I'm going to reap right back from them the provision, the influence, the purpose, the peace, and the power that I'm looking for. I want to encourage you today to begin to confess clearly in your life on a daily basis. Not that you're just a gift from God, but that you're a gift from God to help others discover their gifting. Once you begin to realize that your true purpose and identity, you'll begin to recognize whose problem you're supposed to help solve. You are the solution to someone else's problem because God has already downloaded you with the gifting of God to bring that resolve in their life. Until next time, I'm Bishop P. Gregory Schell, encouraging you to continue to confess that you are a gift from God for others, and in their vision is your provision. God bless.